So that night I didn't sleep at all and was just terribly, terribly sick. And we get there and we go through prayer, and I go through a lot of confession, and we go through a lot of scripture, and he prays and casts out any demonic attachments that were on me, and afterwards prays for healing for me. And at one point during that, he basically was like asking God to speak to me about whether or not I was going to get healed. And I felt like I heard, you're going to get healed in 6 hours. But I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to be disappointed in 7 hours when I'm not healed. But I did, and we were there for 7 hours, and it was just prayer with this guy, and my wife's there, and we leave, and my wife was like, well, how do you feel? And I'm like, I don't even know. That was just a lot, and I feel like that was really weird. It's kind of how I felt, to be honest. And I don't know. And she's like, well, I was there and I know it was real, and you need to not put your grave clothes on. And I was like, what in the world? So that night we lead Young Life. And so we had Young Life that night. So I go home and I take a 30-minute nap. And I wake up and I'm driving to Young Life with her, and I'm like, my fever's gone and my body aches. These flare-ups I would get would take a few days of sleep basically to pass. I'm like, it's gone. Like, I feel really good. She's like, okay. And then we get to Young Life and we have team dinner before, and I eat dinner. I don't feel sick after, which was rare. Well, I mean, really rare. And I was like, okay, that's weird, but I'm still not really sure. I didn't want to believe that I was healed because I didn't want to be disappointed when I wasn't. But everything was showing me that I was. So I eat dinner, I feel good. And then there's a club talk that night from one of the leaders, and I was sitting there listening, and I just had this moment where I was like, I've never in my life felt so much stillness in my brain. Like, I have no thoughts. I'm just one whole mind, and it was bizarre. And so that night I tell Addie, I'm like, I don't know about this healing thing. The jury's still out for me, but my brain is different. Like, something's going on where I don't have thoughts anymore. And she's like, maybe there's just a lot of whatever. But I thought I had just really bad, like, ADHD. But my brain was still and full of peace. I was like, man, this is so bizarre. And then that night we go to bed, and I woke up at 5:15 a.m. and I like turned over to look at the clock, and I read 5:15, and I heard really loud in my head, I heard John 5:15. I opened my Bible, and John 5:15 is right after Jesus heals the paralytic at the pool of Bethesda. And the verse just says, he went and told everyone Jesus healed him. And I was like, oh my gosh. I couldn't have made that up. And I've read the Bible a lot. I don't know verses. Like, that wasn't in the back of my head. And so I tell Addie the next day, and she's like excited. And I feel really strongly that this, as I was praying about just telling this story, I think this is where the importance of my story really is. It's not really about deliverance or healing or my faith or my lack of faith. I really think it's about the blood that was shed by Jesus Christ. And I think that's where all of the power is in the cross. And I just felt overwhelmed that right when I was reading that, like it didn't matter. The person that prayed deliverance for me is an amazing person, but it's not about him, and it's not about me or the sect of denomination that we're in, or any, like, it's just about Jesus and what he did for all of us. And so I read that, I'm like, okay, I'll submit to this. And every day after, I was kind of waiting for the shoe to drop, and every day after, I just was better. And I was eating all these things that I hadn't had in 7 years. And we're talking to our friends about it. I'm just like, I feel different. I don't want to listen to the music I was listening to anymore. I don't want to watch TV really anymore. Like, there's just the desires of my heart had changed, and it felt like scales had fallen off my heart, and suddenly I had just a really soft heart when I hadn't before. And it became really obvious to me that I had a ton of theological pride and arrogance, and God, out of his mercy, showed up to me in a way that I didn't deserve, and in a way that was outside of where I was allowing him to move.